Hello again, YouTube. So today I thought I would share how I made a foldaway workbench.
As you can see, my garage is a single car garage and it can get cluttered and messy quite quickly. So I do have a workbench back here for little projects, and I do have my workshop in the back, so that's where I keep the majority of my tools. But I do have my little workbench as well as my my shelf, and I try to keep things simple here because I have a lot of things end up coming in here as the season goes in and out. Long story short, I figured I needed more shelf space, but I didn't want to make anything permanent, so that's why I devised this idea. So this is an after the fact video, but I'm going to show you very simply how this was done. And that is what it looks like when it's down. So this was all made out of scrap material that I had. Some people might not have as much scrap material as I do, but this would be a very cheap project to do. So that's what it looks like down. And the first thing I'm going to say is if you do decide to do this, whenever you do decide to go ahead and measure it, really take into consideration how high you want your bench, because whenever you put it against the wall, your support beam, which is that thing right there, it's going to feel like it's really low, but the fact of the matter is your table generally is not going to be greater than your belly button. If anything, it's going to be a little lower around your hip area. So take that into account. That's going to be the first thing. So again, this was a very simple project, and this is how it went. Basically, take a 2x4 or any kind of piece of wood that's going to be a good support beam. Okay, fine. You can see the little lines there. I found my studs, and I went into my studs. It doesn't need to be super stable, because again, this is not going to be like a really heavy, like I would not recommend you putting an engine block on this. This is just going to be like a workbench that you can put light things up to like 100 pounds on, and it's stable enough, but like not heavy projects. And you want it to be big enough, but again, it doesn't need to be going into 2 studs. I found was to be plenty stable. So anyway, you take your you go ahead, make that level. Then go ahead and get some hinges. That's the kind of hinges I went and got, and I think they were just the best price. They don't have to be super heavy duty or anything. Okay, then you're gonna take your piece, your tabletop. I just found a piece of scrap wood that I wanted as my tabletop. So after you find your tabletop, then you frame it in with some 2x4s, okay? Because that's what you're gonna hook into your support beam here, okay? As I did right here. Okay, so you frame it in, okay, all the way down. Then what you want to do is you want to get some articulating legs. So now if you attach your legs together, like now these are on hinges. If you only had one on a hinge, it's very loose and it wants to wobble this way and that, okay? That's what you want to prevent, and that's why you attach it like you find the 90 degrees, you make sure it opens well, that there's not rubbing, whatever, that it doesn't get stuck, and then you just tie them in together, and that's going to add some stability. So these, whenever it comes up, it butts up against this, and that's going to prevent it from going out too far. And I kept this super simple. This is just a block that whenever right there that kicks out, okay, it fits in right there, and I'll show you in a second. I just put these in, and it prevents them from closing, okay? And that's pretty much it. I mean, it was a very simple project. Just had to pre-think a couple of things on how to prevent them from opening up too far, or having it close in on me, because you wouldn't want to have your table down and suddenly these legs kick back in, right? So that's what those blocks are for. And I just went ahead, got a simple bolt, a lock bolt, and that's how I prevent it from falling down. So I'll put this down and I'll show you how it all works together. So again, you can play darts on it. It's a great background, like to prevent darts from injuring your wall. So that's why I put the dartboard there. That just comes out. I close it. You see, that prevents it from opening too far. So I can just open it. It's maxed ability, and I know it's going to be at that 90-degree angle. And I just take those little chalk blocks, stick it in right there, right in to prevent the legs from kicking back out. And then that's it. That is super stable for what I need. Like I say, I could probably get on here and stand on here, but I'm not going to. Yeah, it is pretty darn stable. I put many things up on here, 50 to 100 pounds, and it hasn't given me any issues. And then whenever you're done, you just remove those blocks. Those kick back in. Lock that up, and bam. You have a ton of space that's not preoccupied with a workbench. It's in an area which is normally occupied by a car, so when the car's not in here, you have a lot of space to work around. So that's why that's great. I've really enjoyed having that. That's one of the first things I built whenever we moved into this house, and it's come in really handy. And by making it out of scrap wood, like that's where I put really dirty projects. Like that's where I paint things on. I don't want to be painting on the floor, you know, over some time. It gets strenuous on the back. That's what I do my messy projects on. And yeah, like I say, I recommend this for anybody who's looking to save space and but needs something for those projects. So again, guys, this is Average Guy Cameron. If I can do this, anyone can.